Hi, Dr. Mark here from Natural Health. Hope you're having a great day. Tonight, we're going to talk about helping kids succeed in school. This month, we're talking about brain health. And the topic for this week, or this month actually, is brain health, but really showing people what we can do at this office for that purpose. So a lot of people want to know, well, what do you do at Natural Health? I mean, you're a chiropractic office. I thought that was just for neck and back pain. Well, no, you do a lot more than that. Because even chiropractic itself is geared towards helping the nervous system to improve so the body can respond as it should to whatever stimulus is out there in the environment, whether it's school and learning, playing sports, whatever the kids are into, learning. It's important that brain and spinal system or nervous system works correctly. So we've been at this for 37 years already. Hard to believe, doing nutrition and chiropractic at the same time. So the big thing here, kind of paradigm that we do differently at Natural Health is we're looking at underlying causes, getting the body to work correctly, rather than chasing symptoms. So most of the healthcare in this country is kind of based on disease management, where you've got a symptom, we're putting maybe a medication, whatever it is, and you have another symptom, another medication, whatever that is, we're kind of chasing symptoms. So our paradigm is looking at underlying causes. And for me, I'm doing the nutrition here mostly. So nutrition response testing is the name of the technique that we're using to figure out in real time what that body needs to be healthy. So for the kids, when we do a nutrition response testing exam, we figure out what nutrients they need at that time. Kids are changing so quickly. Adults usually take, they kind of change with the seasons a little bit and need some different things. But the kids, as they're growing, their needs are quite different. So it's important that people realize that you have to feed kids good food for them to grow up with good bodies, good health, and good neural, emotional health. So I'm going to go over some of the nutritional aspects of helping kids to succeed in school. And of course, one of the big things is how to get them to sit there, and learn actually. So we'll go on to the next slide. There's a lot of information here, and I'm not going to take a whole lot of time. Oops, did I go too fast? There, that one. This is what I'm going to go over first, and this is the your glucose blood levels, and that's the main line here, and they have this set for breakfast, lunch, and supper. This is kind of an average amount for people, and I would say that this is a little high. Well, I can see it because here we have 108 for your blood glucose levels. 100 is at fasting, above 100 is pre-diabetic, going towards diabetes. So this is a little high for what I'd like to see. I like to see it more staying at around between probably 72 and 90 and really staying more flat, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So you can see how this is kind of the normal level, the average American diet. It's going up and down, that kind of stuff. Well, they're not even including the sucrose rich food, which is glucose and fructose. So when you add a sucrose food here, say like you have something that's really sugary, like a piece of chocolate cake, you add that right here to that middle meal, well, the glucose level goes sky high. And what that does is that gives you a kind of a euphoric high. People that eat a lot of sugar at one time, they just really feel good, and they're all wound up, and they're just at some kind of a euphoric high. And the body just goes bananas when it does that. It doesn't like to have that glucose so high. Your brain is suffering. It doesn't feel like it, but the brain is suffering, so that it just throws insulin in there like crazy. So the insulin goes in there, it just dumps insulin in there, and the blood sugar curve goes way down. Doesn't take very long. The blood sugar curve is way down. And those people are depressed and tired. So, and then you've got to fight back to go up, and we're up and down all over the place. Now, in this diagram, it's a pretty simplified diagram. They have this for lunch, but I am would like to kind of propose, if you did this for breakfast, where would the kids be at? How could a kid sit there in his chair after having donuts and sugary cereal for breakfast and a Pop-Tart, and maybe even a Mountain Dew? I've seen that before. How is he going to sit there in a chair and try to learn anything with the brain being all goofy? And then about 10 o'clock, he's going to be depressed and tired. I mean, I'm tired of this stuff. I'm going to get out of here, going to act up, all that kind of stuff. And then the problem is, as we see it, the school systems are basing even if you're getting breakfast at school or even school lunches, they're basing it on the food pyramid. Now, you can look this up. There's plenty of information on YouTube and internet about the history of foods and who's actually controlling who makes the USDA food pyramid. And a lot of the cereal manufacturers are behind that. So it's important to realize that. There's also some other political religious influences there that, based on historical fact, are pushing us towards this high grain, vegan type thing. And it's really something the body isn't meant to have. This thing here, you keep doing that long enough, that's why blood sugar goes up, and pretty soon you are diabetic. Why a third of the population in the United States is either diabetic or pre-diabetic, and more than half of the U.S. population is obese by their own standards. And so that's the report card of mainstream medicine, is that diet, is that problem, of the problems we have. Of course, cardiovascular disease, that's just a byproduct of the diabetes and the sugar handling the body has. So important stuff to realize there. And again, if you think about that, you do this 3 times a day, well, you can imagine what kind of problems the kids are going to have with learning and doing and getting their homework done and whatever else. So you want to try to keep this blood sugar curve. In our office, we're trying to keep this blood sugar curve more level. When insulin spikes up, it causes lots of inflammation in the body, lots of problems with the cardiovascular system, and even just joints. Everything gets inflamed when insulin goes so high. So we want to try to get that more leveled out in there. And how do we do that? Well, this is our glycemic index, and this is showing you foods and their index of how fast the body can pull the sugar in from that food. And the glycemic index is based on sugar being at 100. So all these foods are giving you an idea of how fast the sugar can be absorbed. So this one here, white bread, is 100, just like sugar. Taco shells, 97. So these are your grains and starches. And the thing to realize is how do you fatten up hogs and cattle? You feed them grain and starches. So that's how you get things fat, by feeding them sugar and starches. Now, the interesting thing, I looked through these graphs online, and you will find no cereals that, like Frosted Flakes or any kind of sugary cereal. All you'll find is you'll find like Rice Bran cereal, which bran is low in sugar. It's a fiber. I don't think we even have their whole wheat bread. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is 87. Now, I have patients coming in here who are diabetic, and they've been told by their practitioners that they can have oatmeal for breakfast because it's heart healthy. So you think a diabetic person should be eating oatmeal every morning with a glycemic index of 87, watching that blood sugar curve going up and down like that. And this is older people, of course, but it works for the kids too, because a lot of kids are currently being diagnosed as diabetic already at young ages. It's getting worse and worse. And diabetes drives all the other things like asthma and all these other problems that kids have. So how are they going to learn when you're dealing with all these inflammatory responses? So another interesting thing is, when I looked up these glycemic indexes, I could not find any glycemic indexes that showed eggs, meat, seafood, cheese, because all of those are at 0 on the glycemic index. Eggs, meat, seafood, and cheese. So if kids would eat a protein for breakfast in the morning, maybe a salad for lunch, and a protein vegetable for evening, that blood sugar curve would stay nice and level, or a lot more level than this. And they'd be able to concentrate. Their brains would actually work better. And of course, in the brain-gut connection, when that gut is all full of sugary stuff, there's all kind of yeast issues and probiotic problems, and so that causes a lot of gut issues. And the gut-brain connection then throws the brain through all kind of issues. We want to try to, again, get this more leveled out. I think that's about all I wanted to go over here today. It's probably enough there. If you have any questions on these things, you can always give us questions in the comment section, and we can answer questions. You can always come to these. We have this at 6 o'clock, and we're still doing them on Monday at 6 o'clock. We tape the next 2 days, but we'll go ahead and have Dr. Chip will be up for tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and then Master Eddie will be up Wednesday at 6 o'clock, talking about their aspects of helping the kids to learn. Let's see. The upcoming health checks, they're listed there. Next week we'll be talking about learning disabilities. So we'll go into a little explanation of what happens when these things go awry, and then how the kids have learning disabilities there. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up or a heart or whatever else you can do to help us out with our channel. Natural Quincy, Illinois is our Instagram and Facebook channel. Natural Quincy is our YouTube and Brighteon channel. Of course, you can always give us a call, 217-228-2040. We have free consultations because people sometimes don't really understand what we do here. And there's no torture chambers or anything else. We just help people to get well based on some really interesting things we do. So anybody's welcome to just come and find out about that. We're at 2000 Jefferson Street in Quincy, Illinois, and we're just happy to help out. So think about us, and don't worry, be healthy. We'll see you next time. Thanks.